right, so everything in here is fertilized and we are good to go now. We are going to go and amend that last Greenstalk. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. So with the Greenstalk, we're going to use granulated fertilizer and we're going to use meal grinds. I don't have any more rabbit manure right now, and for now I think that'll be fine. I am doing the Greenstalks the same way I'm doing the beds. They are getting a basic type of fertilizer right now, and then depending on what I plant in them, we'll decide what I will use to amend the pockets. So pretty much doing the same thing all the way around the garden, not trying to make it too hard or too difficult or too much work in my brain. The other thing that I'm planning to do, actually too, is top off any of the pockets with Happy Frog too. Forgot to mention that. All right, so if you remember, I've been telling you that I have a box that has straw in it. So I'm gonna take a lot of this straw off of this Greenstalk because I heavily mulched it in the winter time. So we're gonna take all of this straw off and we're gonna drop it into this box. This box already has some straw in it from other Greenstalks that I have amended. And so we can still use this straw again. And when we take it off, we're still gonna take some of it out and put it back. But there's 2 boxes like this. And when I need straw again, I will come and grab it out of this box. As to not be wasteful, we're just gonna take the straw off the top. You're gonna get some soil with it. That's not a big deal. We have not pulled out the root balls yet, so I'm gonna show you how I get the root balls out, and I'm not taking this down. Like, I'm just not doing it, and I haven't had a problem so far. There are still things growing in this Greenstalk. We still have carrots growing in here, which I've never grown carrots in here before. This is really only my 2nd year growing in Greenstalks. I think I got my first one in April or May last year. There's still carrots from when I planted in fall, so we're leaving those. There's also some spinach in here, so we're leaving those. There are actually plants where I left the root ball and there are plants growing out of them. We're not leaving those. I think most of what I saw was kohlrabi, and I don't think that we'll grow another kohlrabi. I think we'll only get the leaves, but this Greenstalk is going to be for peppers in the summer. So with that being said, I want to get it amended, get things breaking down so that when I get my peppers in here, they can grow nicely. And someone asked me about growing peppers in here. I grew peppers last year here and they grew nicely in here. They do get, you know, kind of big, but I'm only doing 15 peppers, and then I'm doing some marigolds, some nasturtiums, and calendula. I still need to start a little more calendula too. Maybe I'll just do marigolds in this one. I don't know. I don't want to have to replant, so I might just do marigolds. We got some really nice marigold germination this year. We're not going to worry too much about a bunch of other flowers in here with the peppers. I'm not gonna mix it with anything else. I just want it to be peppers and flowers. See, we still have spinach growing, and I planted this, I want to say from seed. Don't quote me on that, but I think I planted it from seed in the fall and it started to germinate and it's still here. Spinach likes like really cold weather, honestly. So we're just getting all the straw out, and I'm not noticing in any of my Greenstalks this year. I mentioned it in another video that, like, I think it's just because we were so moist, things really were able to break down. So I'm not noticing any compaction. See right here, pretty sure this was a kohlrabi, but it's growing back, but we're gonna pull that all the way out. But that's another reason why, you know, for some plants, you might wanna pull the whole root ball because it'll start growing back just off of what you left in the soil. That's not just the Greenstalk, that's in general. Okay, so you can take the top off. That comes off really easy. I mean, you can take the whole thing apart if that's what you want to do. I don't want to do that this year. I'm not in the mood for it. My body don't feel like it, so I'm not gonna do it. And like I said, this is how I did all of the rest of them, unless I was moving them, and I'm not seeing any adverse effects from it. I'm looking for the root ball, yeah. And see, things just kind of rotted, which kind of worked out for me. And so now I just go through and move the soil around. Same way I'm gonna do it. Oh, there's worms in here. Girl, how? Look at that. Did I drop them? No. Worms in here. I'm putting him right back. Anyway, I'm just moving it around in this pocket. This is the same way I'm gonna do all the pockets all the way down. I'm gonna get the root ball out, if it's any root ball to get out. And then I'm gonna move this. Oh, this is a hori knife. It's perfect for this. Like you see that? If you want to do it this way and not have to take it down, it's perfect for literally getting all the way to the bottom. And I use my hori knife for this, and it helps me to move the soil around all the way down pretty much to the bottom. I'm touching the bottom now. I'll leave a link to the hori knife in case you're interested. Now I will say there's a little bit of settling, which is why I am adding some more black frog. Some more happy black frog. I did black cow and black frog together. Girl. Which is why I'm gonna add more happy frog to the mix, just so it can be full to the top of the pocket. I'm not saying anything that resembles compaction. I think that's my root ball. Yeah, that's my root ball, but it's just a little piece of it. Breaking it up, I must have already pulled the root ball out of here. And I'm gonna say it again just because every time I do any information on Greenstalk, someone asks. I filled my Greenstalk with Burger BM6. I get that soil from my local feed and seed. If you are in my area, the local feed and seed store is called Heretic Feed and Seed. Yeah, so much easier. And if you remember, this Greenstalk was growing cabbage, broccoli, and it just broke down. And we love to see that. Less work for me. So everything is broken up, and you can see that the soil is moving easily in here. I do try to fertilize the whole thing at the top just because I can. If I was taking it all down, I would fertilize the middle and everything too. Not gonna do that further down because I don't want to take this down. And you don't have to if you don't want to. So we got our meal grinds. Gonna drop them down into each pocket. And I just don't measure much of anything. And we're gonna work this all in a few. So if you don't have meal grinds for this, you can also just use compost. And then I'm also gonna add some granulated fertilizer. And because I'm gonna top these off, I'm not gonna worry about taking my hori knife all the way through because it's gonna be covered in soil. I'm just gonna work it into the first few layers just like that. And it's gonna be covered in soil, which is gonna give it contact on both sides, and it'll start to break down. We won't be planting this Greenstalk out until May, like the rest of the garden. It'll have plenty of time to break down. That's how I'm going to do it. I've had a lot of success growing in these Greenstalks, y'all. I know, some people don't think that they are necessary, but they have worked really well for me. And it has helped me to extend my growing space tremendously because Greenstalks only take up 2 square feet of space, but depending on which one you get, my favorite is the 5-tier. Like, I like to have the 5-tier with the deeper pockets because I can pretty much grow anything in those, and I can grow 30 plants in here. So I'm just saying, like the bed behind me, the block bed is 4 by 7. If I planted a plant that I could only plant 1 square foot, I could only plant 28 plants in there. You see what I'm saying? I can get, and that's taking up 4 by 7, 28 square foot, and this is taking up 2 square feet of space. A little bit of a learning curve for me was the watering. I could not wrap my head around how the water was moving through the Greenstalk. But there are gray trays. I'll see if I could put a picture on the screen. There are gray trays in the middle on the top of each layer, and the water, when it comes through this top tray, it sits in that gray tray. That gray tray has holes where it's dripping slowly into the next level too. I was able to understand that, even though sometimes I do still just water each pocket depending on the time of year, because when it gets hot, you do have to make sure you keep each pocket moist, and sometimes that means watering each pocket. But anyway, just want to throw that out there. And so now, and I think the settling, let me finish my statement. I'm going to top off with the Happy Frog. Only reason why I'm using Happy Frog is because it's the soil that I had. I use it for seed starting. I found it at a good price at a store near me. It's called Petersburg Trading, $16.99 in case you are interested. But that's the only reason why I'm using this. If I had some other soil that was light and loamy, because you don't want to put like super heavy soil in here, that was light and loamy, I would use that too. Happy Frog is what Greenstalk suggests. I believe it's one of their main suggested soils, but I didn't even fill mine with the suggested soil, and that's because I couldn't find the soil at a decent price. But I have now, and I'm using it for other things other than just other than just filling the Greenstalk. Oh, and not my coffee over. That's unfortunate. That is all I'm going to do to amend the Greenstalks, and I'm going to show you how I do another tier, just because this one is super easy because it's like not having it stacked. And when it's time to plant, I'll just pull this soil back, drop in whatever amendment I'm going to use, if I'm going to use any at all, and then I'll plant put the plant in there. This, like I said, this is gonna be a pepper green stalk. Let's move on to this tier, and I wanna find one that has a root ball so you can see how I get the root ball out. I don't know that we have any in here that have a root ball left. Let me see, y'all. Let me see if I can find one, and I'll move y'all wherever I need to move y'all to show you. Okay, so for instance, right here, we have a root ball left. I'm gonna take my hori hori because it has a little serrated edge that cuts. So I'm gonna take my hori hori around that root ball and I'm gonna cut it out. This was a kohlrabi, like I said, and I think it grew really nicely. So I'm then gonna pull this out. So now we've cut all the way around it. And to save my soil, I'm just gonna tap it until all we have is root ball and we're not losing soil, because we need to keep this soil. Burger BM6 is not that cheap either. So we pretty much got most of the soil off. Now I would just go through here, and any roots that's in here, I can break up really nicely with the hori hori knife because it has serrated edges, and you can see I'm able to easily move through here. So that's a plus. This is why I say I don't think I have to take them down. We'll see come summer, but right now, not worrying about it. We're gonna drop some of our meal grinds in there, and then some of our granulated fertilizer, and we're gonna work it in with the hori hori knife, same way. Get it down into the soil, just like that. And you might lose a little bit of soil, but you don't normally, or I don't normally lose a lot. And then we'll top it off with a little bit of soil. And I don't find that I lose a lot of soil when I'm adding soil either. You might have to, do it more than once so you don't have a huge handful. That's how I have amended all of my Greenstalk pockets so far this year. And I don't plan on amending them any differently. So yep, that's done now too. Now I could put my straw back on here now. I'm going to wait just because I don't want the pockets to get overly moist. We have rain in the forecast a few times. I will wait until summer to really start putting my straw back on here. So those are my plans for today. I'm gonna sit out here by myself in the quiet, and then we have had a few breezes and I'm loving that. Finish amending this Greenstalk, prepare myself for tomorrow, and then I will see y'all on Wednesday. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting, coming back, all of that stuff. I really do appreciate it. I don't know, maybe I don't say it enough. I probably should say it a little bit more, but I really do appreciate y'all, because without y'all, this life for me is not possible. So I really do appreciate it. Okay, what are we doing after this? So probably Wednesday, what are we doing? We have got to get all of these weeds out of here. This is the orchard area. I showed y'all, the peach trees, but we got to get all these weeds out of here. I'm gonna get them up out of here, and I'm gonna give them to the chickens. And I have put wood chips down over here. I feel like I put weed fabric down. They just keep coming back. Now, I know they won't last forever, but once these weeds die, some other weed is gonna come. So we gotta get this cleared out for sure. And then the other thing we're gonna do on Wednesday is what I didn't want to do today, and that's get these bags amended. So these were growing broccoli. We wanna get those amended pretty nicely as well. And then, we have tomatoes in the house that we started, so those need to be up potted. Also need to start some more tomato seeds. Like I said, I think I want to start some calendula, but I'm really not 100% sure. But we'll probably also be starting seeds this week. Oh, and clearing this area out, finding somewhere to put these pots or somewhere to plant these perennial herbs. So we'll see. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I feel like I mentioned the marshmallow. That white pot, I can see it. That's where the marshmallow is. So yeah, I want to get this cleared out. I don't want any pots over here. It's already a mess over here. So that's what we'll be working on this week. Wednesday, we should not have rain, and I don't think we should have rain on Friday either. Not even saying that that's when I'm going to record, but those are the days that you will see it. Anyway, y'all, thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.